Do you want to do the...
Should I read it? Fitpod with NASA. I'm HD Fitness, aka David Hammond. Take one.
Folks, welcome back to another episode of Fitpod. And today I've got a real treat for you. We have HD Fitness, aka David Hammond, the IFBB Pro. How are you, sir? Did I say that right? IFBB Pro.
IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
A lot of people say IPPF semantic, but it's IFBB Pro.
IFBB Pro. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it bang on.
How are you, bro? First of all, thank you very much for coming
anytime,
and taking your time out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're a busy guy.
Yes.
Go on, tell us a bit about yourself so the viewers know who you are, what's a bit of your background, and then we'll kind of get into your journey, fitness journey.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Nash has mentioned my name. My name is David Hammond. I'm a professional bodybuilder as of last year. I got my pro card in the category men's physique. I originally started bodybuilding around 6-7 years ago. A mate of mine introduced me to the whole lifestyle. I was one of those gym men who used to eat mackerel. Used to think mackerel and bread after a session or a tin of pasta was the right type of nutrition to grow and gain muscle. But he introduced me to the lifestyle, so I always had to give him thanks for that. He taught me about nutrition, and obviously being a personal trainer, that's something that helped me with my own clients as well. So long story short, I got into bodybuilding. My first competition was 7 years ago at PCA. I think we did fitness model.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I was meant to do muscle model, but they told me I had to do fitness model because I was too big for the category.
Oh yeah.
So that was a little bit of a kick in the balls, but they told me to leave the stage.
Oh shit, they told you to leave the stage?
Yeah, I didn't move. Me and another guy just stood there. So they told us, okay, you gotta leave the stage because we're not gonna judge you. But to me personally, the guys in the other category was massive. So I was like, I've spent 12 weeks getting ready for this category that I know I wanna do. Get ready for these poses. I'm not gonna leave. So yeah, didn't really go the way I planned. Yeah. So after trying it, after doing a couple more shows, terrible. So after that, I took some time out.
Did that kind of
knocked me back? It put me off so much. But I really like the way PCA ran their competitions.
You liked it or you didn't?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. I still even after that, I still liked it. But still put me off. I came out the industry. I felt like I was at a position where I learned enough to then move on with my life and really focus on business. Do you know what I mean? So I created HD Fitness, recruited personal trainers that work with me in order to, this is gonna sound so cliche, but just to teach people a little bit more about nutrition, teach people a bit more about health. We mainly deal with the Gen Pop people. We don't really deal with competitors.
Yeah,
it's lifestyle clients. Yeah, lifestyle clients. I get way more, because I'm a one-to-one coach as well. I get way more of a kick out of lifestyle clients and just changing someone's life. Yeah. In opposed to a person that just wants to do a show. You know what I mean? I don't find it that.
There's no end. Well, there is an end goal to that, but
the satisfaction's totally different for me.
It's just that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But whereas with lifestyle clients, it's that change, that positive change for the rest of their life. For the most of their life. Anyway.
So I get way more of a kick out of that. But I digress. So fast forward this year, I met my coach Martin Winston through another mate of mine that was a coach at Foundry, West Brom as well. So he introduced me to Martin. He saw me in the gym one day. I spent so many years focusing on business, I kind of forgot about myself.
Okay.
So I was just like training, like just going through the motions. And
Just
he saw
doing it for the sake of doing it, yeah.
And he saw me, he pulled me to the side and he was like, Dave, have you ever thought about what you're going to do now in terms of your own goals? You're helping these people with their own success and helping them with their own nutrition and helping them with their own goals. What are you doing? Because I think back then, a couple of years ago, this is 2.5 years ago now, got a bit pudgy.
Yeah, as you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was always a guy from a young age that always chased size, but I'm getting older now. I'm 31, so your metabolism starts to slow down, you don't move as much, so you start to gain weight. So I was looking like one of those just
stocky guys.
stocky guys with the thick waist, kind of losing my shape. My mate would call that a parcel. Yeah. You just get squared off. But a parcel. I never understood what he meant by that, but when I looked at myself, I did. So he introduced me to Martin. I took the chance. The second he introduced him to me, he persuaded me, and I jumped at the idea straight away. Messaged him instantly, and he signed me up. And within a couple of days, this guy's so efficient. Within a day, he had me on a program. He was ready.
Really?
Check-ins.
So
Yeah.
Proper.
He was on it. But I started with him as a lifestyle client, so I had no intentions of competing. So, typical me, I want to get bigger. That's what I told him. Didn't want to cut, wanted to get bigger. So we spent 2 years on I would say like a muscle gain phase.
2 years?
2 years, we were just,
Wow.
I just needed someone to be accountable to.
But that's a long time. Didn't you get like bored?
Nah, my life needs to be regimented. Like, I thrive off being regimented. When I'm not on any type of plan, I'm lost. So it worked so well for me.
You know, I'm like that as well, you know. When there's no plan, you're just kind of floating about here and there.
Can't do it. Yeah.
You're just floating about, and
Yeah.
there's no gain that comes out of that.
gain.
It's just, it is what it is kind of thing. But when you've got a plan, regardless of if it's muscle gain or weight loss or some kind of plan,
Yeah.
you know, this time I need to have my breakfast and
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. Too much freedom, ain't.
Oh no.
It's not what it cracks up to be, having too excessive amounts of freedom.
Yeah. Because you don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, you don't know what to do with it. You'll end up twiddling your thumbs. But yeah, he messaged me. Where was I?
2 years.
Yeah, 2
Muscle
years.
gain.
Muscle gain. So he finally said to me, during the whole time, he was telling me, yo, mate, I think you've got a sick structure. I think you'll be good for this.
Did he gas you up?
I was just like, yeah, whatever, man. Whatever, Martin. So I didn't really believe him, but he kept saying it every check-in. So I was like, you know what? My clients need a little bit of inspiration. And every now and then I like to spice things up where I go through a little transformation just to
keep everyone else.
Just keep everyone on their toes and in check. And just to keep me, just to help me relate to them. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So you got to walk the walk.
Yeah.
So I decided to do the first show. And did
was
the
that
first
with
show. This one was with PCA.
PCA as well.
Yeah, this one was just a PCA. So I think I took 4 months to diet down. Intense diet, man. The first year I competed all in all 46 weeks.
Wow.
46 weeks. Three of those months was 0 carbs. We had to diet hard because my body wasn't ready. My body wasn't used to cutting weight that drastically, and I haven't cut weight in so long, 6 years. It took a while to shift them pounds, man. So I had to graft.
3 months of no carbs.
The calories went very low as well.
Of course.
So we had to dig deep for the final show. So in that whole season, I did 5 shows. Won the first one. Took the overall. The overall is when you win the sword at the end of the show.
Oh,
basically win the whole show.
Yeah.
So won the overall on that. I binged for after that I didn't know when the finals was.
Stop.
Bro, I binged 2 days straight binge. I can't tell you how much I ate. I was binging. I put 5 kilos on. In 2 days? That's nothing though. Put 5 kilos in 2 days, and then I had the British Championships in the next week. So you know how that went. So I went straight back on diet. when you've been dieting, your body compensates. So anything you give it, it just takes that much longer to lose it. So went back on stage, worst show ever. Still placed top 5, but it was the worst showing. I was lean, but I was just watery and smooth on stage.
Shit.
So following week I had I think it was the Vitae Naturals. It's the IFBB. It's the IFBB league now. So I had a natural show, and I wasn't gonna do it, but I thought, why people would start to think, why am I always doing PCA shows when it's not in the criteria to be natural? So really, not gonna lie, I didn't do that show for myself. I did that show mostly to prove to everyone else I was natural.
Okay.
Went there, won the overall again, and I was like, maybe I'll come back to the next one. Did I mean? Did another PCA show, got smoked again, came top 5 again, the PCA Wells. That one was that was a conflicting one, because even some of the judges were coming up to me like, we had you winning. But because it was judges from like all over the world, it wasn't really a thing where...
Is that
That's the PCA one.
Oh, okay.
So I was jumping back and forth. I was doing a show every single week.
Bloody hell.
For like 8 weeks, I was doing a show.
Wow.
Once I did a show like back to back 3 weeks. One show. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I did a lot of shows. And the final show I did in December at the end of the season. And that's when I did the finals for the IFBB. Yeah. And then I took home the pro card. Yeah.
So what is a pro card like? Is that like a recognition of somebody top elite in bodybuilding?
Yeah, that's it.
So what's after that?
So after a pro card, so just like what you said, it's the recognition of the fact that you're now a professional bodybuilder in the league. You're no longer an amateur.
Wow.
So you're allowed to take part in professional events, which ultimately leads to financial gain.
Wicked.
Even though the finances in bodybuilding is not anything to yell about, I think the most you win in a pro show is, depending on where you are, some places, Dubai awards their win is 20 grand, depending on the category.
It's not bad, isn't it?
So it's not bad, but the average is like 2,000, 2 grand.
Wow.
But,
After all of that.
Yeah, but with the NPC and the IFBB, the level that you want to hit is the Olympia. Everyone wants to be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
So essentially that's the end game, reaching there and winning that and becoming Mr. Olympia.
Mr. Olympia, or is it Mr. Universe? Mr. Universe is the next.
I think Mr. Universe is what they used to do back in
Oh,
the
it's
days.
not anymore. Arnie's days or something.
That's like Arnie's days. I'm not too sure if Arnie was the one that created Mr. Olympia. I'm not too sure. But Mr. Olympia is essentially what Mr. Universe was.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's what everyone's kind of striving for, to be a part of the elite, essentially.
So, that bodybuilder, what's his name?
Ronnie Coleman.
No. This guy who's just recently done Mr. Olympia. What's the name? Chris.
Everyone knows. Chris Bumstead.
Yes, that's
everyone's guy.
Yeah. So he won the Mr. Olympia, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's won it
5 times.
5 times. Yeah, 5 times.
Mr. Olympia.
Hold on, this year I think this year's gonna be 5.
Wow.
Either 5 or 4. But he's the poster boy for the Olympia, I think. Yeah, he's a likable guy as well, but he's got an amazing physique. Everyone knows Chris Bumstead, man.
Absolute mad. So
yeah.
Hats off to the guy, man. Hats off. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
So now you are a pro card holder. What's next?
So I did.
So how did that go? How did
the pro debut?
Yeah.
This year was the pro debut. So I came off a high last year because I had the pro card.
Yeah.
So the tactic behind it was to get into the pro leagues and see what the quality is like, and didn't disappoint, because I personally think being a natural athlete in the pro league is a complete madness. I had to see what it was like to believe it myself.
Really?
Yeah. So coming off the show last year, I didn't give myself any time to rest. Probably like 2 months, straight back on it. So the goal was never to go in there and win. It was more to go in there and show face and to see what your competitions are competing against. Do you know what I mean? But I competed in England at the True Athlete, amazing show, and I competed at a show in Spain called the Europa Pro, even bigger levels, amazing show. The quality of guys that you're facing compared to the amateur league, you can't even begin to compare it.
I mean, I've seen your page, I've seen your physique, absolutely phenomenal. I'm not just saying that for the cameras. I actually looked at your, I was showing it to someone today. I was like, I've got David coming in for a podcast today. And they were like, I was like, fair play to the guy, you know what I mean? Fair play to, as a natural, looking like that, it's absolute insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different kind of dedication, bro. Because it's hard to be in that shape naturally.
Yeah.
Because I've tried it. You know, I've tried both. You know, I've tried a cycle. Yeah. You know, with the cycle, you get the results if you're doing something. If you're doing your nutrition, all everything properly, you get phenomenal results. Right. There's no doubt about that. In probably quarter of the time.
Really?
Yeah, don't go on that. You haven't tried it, but
I know.
Really?
But you know what though? While we're on the topic, that was actually because I've never jumped on cycle.
Never.
Have
you ever thought of doing it?
Bro, 1,000 times. 1,000. More than that. Every single day. Sound like a fiend now. Every single day, I'm not gonna lie to you. Every single day, because that was one of the things. Because no one really believed I was natural, and I don't think I'm the craziest. I got the craziest genetics. There's one thing I can work hard when it comes to nutrition, so I use that to my advantage. The pro debut with the first show I did this year was the hardest and the most gruesome prep. It put me off competing for a while.
Really?
It was the hardest prep.
That's what I'm saying. Like being natural and competing with people who are on gear, you have to be better than them to compete with them, if you know what I mean. Because don't forget, you're not using assistance. There's no PEDs in you, so you have to work probably twice 5 times harder than they are.
But the only thing is, your body doesn't respond the same. Because that show, even though I grafted. I'm telling you, I speak passionately about it because I put some blood, sweat and tears in this one.
Of course, bro, go for it.
There was this one time I sat down and I was like, why am I even doing this? Because my health was at risk. I must have, I reached the end of the prep and I was at this stage where I was dehydrating myself. And I started having like palpitations. And it scared me because I had to go straight to the hospital. And straight to the hospital, I'm there and I'm so depleted, I can't even talk. And I rang my coach and he was like, bless him, man, he was like, yo, listen, no comp is worth your health.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, have a sandwich. Because I'm the type of guy, I don't care what you say, I'm going to listen to my coach. Bro, I was in the hospital, didn't even want to have a sandwich. Sounds crazy, but when I'm talking about communicating, that's the level of communication I like to have when I commit to doing something. So he's like, bro, have a sandwich. You need to replenish yourself. You need to drink. You need to do this. You need to do that. So it wasn't worth it, even though it wasn't worth it, man. By the end of the day, second hand that sandwich. 100%, yeah, 100%. I sound like a psycho now. This is the thing I love it. I love prep. I love it. I love having something I can focus on. And it sounds crazy because it's like the whole world is moving around you and you're just tunnel vision on one thing. That's
when I did my first time when I did my transformation with Wahid. And it was just like clockwork, like literally clockwork. Because this is my first time doing it. And it's the first time I've actually had a PT and his first time and everything was a first time with him. I mean, prior to him, I was in the gym for about 3-4 years. Right. But when I met Wade, that's when everything kind of changed. There was there was an understanding of structure, how to do this, why not to do this.
That's
you
where it's
know,
valuable,
you don't need this. You know, you don't need to do that. You need to do this. It started making sense, but because I was already in the gym, so I was familiar with the surrounding. I knew what I wanted. So he kind of brought structure into my fitness life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. And same every day, questions. I was like, you know what? I'll pay this guy.
Yeah.
Right. I need to know every single thing to their T.
I like clients like you because I get a lot of clients that they would rather not ask questions and do their own thing.
Nah. I was like, come to a point that I think he kind of got
annoyed.
But I was like, I need to know if I can do this. But now, because I've done it for the last 3-4 years now with him.
Yeah.
And now I know what I can and what I can't do. So I don't bother him too much.
Yeah, you've got that education. You've got that.
Yeah. I know where I can maybe let it slide a little bit here and there, and then just kind of make up for it within the week. So if I've had a little silly meal, which I shouldn't be having, then I know how to kind of make up for those extra carbs later on in the week. So it kind of equals
balances itself out.
Towards
and you know
the
what?
end
That's
of the week.
okay, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't have to be as obsessive when you're a lifestyle client.
Yeah. So, because the thing is that I'm not competing.
Exactly.
I was thinking of competing at the start of this year, but then one of the guys, they sat me down and goes, you really want to kind of go through it because you've got so much commitment that you have to do. And now you've just had a little one. And
yeah, that's a real friend, you know.
Honestly,
that's a real brethren.
He goes, do you really want to do it just to get going? So yeah, it's great. It's phenomenal for experience. If you want to do it for experience, wicked, do it.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it as a profession or take it further, it is addictive because you're going to want to do it better the next time. If you come third, you want to come second time, and you'll fall into
you get into that competing trap.
And now you've just had a little one, and you really want to kind of go through all of that, and you know you have mood swings and this and da. I was like, you know what?
Get me started on mood swings, man. Yeah.
I was like, then I kind of weighed it out. I was like, you know, forget it. Can't be. I just want to look good in nice clothes, and that's it. You know, as long as you're healthy, all of that stuff, it's cool. So I kind of backed up. I was only about 4 or 5 weeks out. I could have done it.
Oh, so hold on. You started it.
No. I was doing a transformation anyway because I put a bit of timber on.
Oh,
right. So
okay.
I was cutting. I was probably about 10-11% body fat. Nice.
So all you needed was
another 5-6 weeks. It was in January. I had this conversation. January, end of Jan, I think.
This year.
Yeah. And the show, I think the first show was just before Ramadan in March. So I only had about a month and a half, but that would have been the solid month and a half.
That would have been the decider.
Yeah. And then I was just like, because of my little one, babies, when they wake up at night, you're just too busy with that. And if you don't get your sleep, your that routine, it's pointless.
It all
you can't
just comes crashing down.
Yeah. So you end up losing it.
Well, sleep's one thing. I always preach sleep to people,
Yeah.
But because I was so focused, I'm the type of guy I'll have a notepad by the side of my bed because I come up with the best ideas before I go to sleep. Okay. My mind was always working. Do you know what I mean? I'll have my phone. I'll just be trying to make the next best thing. My mind's always in overdrive. So having that type of personality would always affect my sleep. Yeah. So me having to wake up at like 4 a.m. every single day.
Exactly. Just to get your steps in.
Yeah. So it all that type of stuff all adds up. So yeah, sleep's something that needs to be prioritized. You can lose weight from sleeping. Build more muscle tissue. Your body's way more efficient when you get more sleep, obviously. So, when I have some good rest at night, I feel wicked the next morning, you know. But then in March, April, May, my little one, he got a bit ill and stuff, and I was so thankful that I didn't do that show, or I was planning to do it because
he caught a whooping cough and he couldn't sleep at night.
Oh.
And literally every half an hour he'd be up coughing. For 3 months we got no sleep whatsoever. So we were just trying to compensate our sleep here and there everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, imagine if I did that, I would have lost it.
You'd have lost it.
Absolutely.
Imagine being on low calories and do. It's
Either
not
me or the
fun.
kid.
Yeah. It's not fun at all.
So that's why I was like, thank God, everything happens for the best.
Yeah, I believe that as well.
So what's your plan moving forward now after your?
That's something I'm still battling with, man, because
Are you gonna?
that's a decision I have to make.
See, now you're in a predicament.
Big predicament.
Where you've got the
IFBB.
IFBB Pro card.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stick with Pro card. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And you've seen the level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, being a natural, do you think you would ever kind of get number one being a natural in that
league?
In that environment?
No way. I was in denial about it because I believed. I'm a guy. My whole slogan is goals have no limits.
Which is fine.
But
it's like that's like being in a playing field with Ronaldo, Messi, Karim Benzema, and then trying to score a goal.
It's
trying to come number one
it's
with
very
that.
unlikely.
Yeah.
It's very, very unlikely. So in terms of, I just think you've got to stay in your lane. And my lane is, if I want to stay natural, I've got to.
But are there any natural?
There is. Mm-hmm.
The pro cards as a natural.
There is routes to get to the Olympia. There's one route to get to the Olympia, naturally. And there's after I won my pro card, they mentioned a show in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, in America, and they actually do pro card Olympia qualifications for natural athletes.
Oh.
So it is entirely possible. But the thing is, cool, go to that show, win that show. You're going to end up on stage with the best in the world at the Olympia, the biggest bodybuilding event in the whole world. Yeah,
but then you're there as a natural.
I guess you can say you've been there to represent.
Yeah.
And it all boils down to what you want out of it. So if you want to be Mr. Olympia, you might as well not do it naturally. If it's a passion of yours, then don't do it naturally. You can strive for it for years.
Somebody might just say, you know what, he comes here every year, lads. Just sort him out. Get him out. Otherwise, he's here next year again.
Give him a damn program.
He's here next year again. He's been last 5 years. Just take him out of his misery.
Come and dead last every year. What's going on? What's wrong with this guy?
He's not getting the hint.
Yeah. But if that's your aim, if it's something that it's a hobby, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's probably not worth it to make such a big drastic decision.
Too much of health complications.
Yeah.
See, now, you know, like Bumsteed and stuff, like how do they finance their careers? Because that's his full-time career.
It's expensive, bodybuilding is expensive. But when you're at that level, because Chris Bumstead, I think he's got like 20 million followers on Instagram alone. Yeah. So his following, imagine the amount of endorsements he's gotten from his popularity being a pro. Do you know what I mean? So people are probably throwing money at him to just post something. Do you know what I mean? So someone at that level can fund whatever they want. But when you're just starting out, there's thousands of pros, and when they're just starting out, I heard a guy say you go from the best amateur to the worst pro. So you have to. It's basically there's a hierarchy that you have to pay your dues. So no one just shows up in the pro league. I'm not gonna say no one. It's very little amount of people that show up in the pro league and just jump straight to the top like that. You gotta be undeniable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if you did a cycle, you would. I mean, with your current, like from your pictures that I saw.
Yeah. The amount of people that tell me that. Every show I go.
Probably be
they're astonished.
Star of the show, bro. Standard.
They're astonished when I go to the shows because I'm like, mate, you're natural. If you just took a little bit. I hear that. On average, I hear that like 5 times. Every time I mention to someone I'm actually, I hear that every time. Every single time.
So what's the reason you don't want to touch it? I mean, you want to go there.
It's a big decision.
And you know that without getting on it, you can't reach that, but you want it.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's,
maybe just a little
I think
small
it's
dose.
mostly, it's a numerous amount of things, you know. It used to be, it started off as, yo, what do my friends say? Because being in a certain circle, you kind of always like, yo, my man's juiced up. He's juiced up. He's this and that. And you kind of, that's how it originally started. But as I grew up, I'm like, I don't really care what my friends say anyway. Then you start to think, what would my family say? What would my kids say? And then you start to deep it like that. And then you think of the other on the other end, okay,
how come you haven't mentioned your wife yet, bro? Huh? You haven't mentioned what your wife is going to think.
Well,
from friends to kids and the rest. and the rest.
Well, I'm currently single at the minute, but when I was with her, she was a big supporter as well. Do you know what I mean? So she was super against that. Do you get what I mean?
All girls are like that, bro.
She was super against that. To a point where it's like, oh, if you go on steroids, I'm going to leave you.
Oh,
that,
God.
That drastic, you know, that
playing
drastic
that card.
one.
Say, listen, I don't need that card. I need the pro card.
That drastic one. I'm going to leave you going anyway, so don't even try it. So you're like, you start like, you're thinking, oh, man, I'm never going it then. But yeah, it's a colossal amount of things, man, that's always at the back of your mind. But this is one thing I've been, since the last show that I did in Spain, that really kind of threw me back because I had enough. I came off stage and I'm like, I'm jumping on cycle.
Because I'm sure you can get, like, with the most minimum dosage use, if you go to a proper person who knows what they're doing, get your bloods done. Probably the least amount of juice you'll be absolutely mad. You don't have to go mad on it.
You don't have to go crazy.
No.
But this is the interesting thing because you know how I said I did this whole thing clean. I've never been on cycle.
By the way, I'm not trying to
promote it.
Yeah, it's not good for your kids.
Yeah. I took some herbal supplements, thinking it was going to help me that much more get closer to the condition I wanted. Apparently, it's all placebo.
What? It's not that Tonga tally, is it?
It was similar to that. Testosterone.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm sure it was a placebo. I'm telling you. In my head, it worked. But if a placebo is going to help you push, it's going to help you pushing it. But I was taking that like 2 months in the prep. And after the show, I did my blood works. Liver was under stress. I don't know if my thyroid come down because of the whole prep, the intensity of the prep, but my blood works were showing signs of just my body being excessively depleted.
Yeah.
And that testosterone thing was doing some damage to my liver.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to be sued or nothing, but
don't worry, you ain't gonna get sued.
But I'm pretty sure that's the one thing I had in my supplement I had in my diet. I had a lot of other supplements as well, but like basic stuff.
Yeah.
But that was the thing I introduced. And when I checked my blood work, Transform Now did my blood work, and my liver enzymes were stupidly high. Came off the tablets, stopped everything, back to normal, almost back to normal. Like that, the biggest drop you'll ever, went from my ALT went from 223 to 70 in like weeks. I've stopped taking that supplement.
Wow.
So I think these herbal supplements, you definitely got to do your research on them, man.
I know, and a lot of people just jump on them thinking because they're herbal.
Yeah, and thinking because it's not steroids, man. It's the cheat code.
They might do more damage than steroids.
Might do more damage.
Yeah. Because see, like even now, oral steroids, you get, tablets and stuff like that.
I would prefer
the injections.
Yeah.
Because it goes straight into
your bloodstream.
It bypasses your livers and all of that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying it's not harmful. Like if you go on a stupid amount of train, it's very, very, very toxic.
I heard that's the harshest one, isn't it?
Yeah. And but if it's just a bit of test and hero or TRT, a lot of people are kind of looking into that. Again, the bottom line is you don't be stupid with these kind of things. When you see results, they're phenomenal results, but you need to know where to draw the line. That's when people kind of go mad.
Because you always want to increase the TRT thing, because apparently that's meant to help boost your own test to a normal level.
No, it doesn't help you boost your own test to a level. What's the word? It kind of
balances it out.
Yeah, fills up the missing part. So you're just topping it up.
So someone like me wouldn't benefit from that then, because when I got my test checked, even in prep, even before, every time I got my bloods done, test was always high, always. So I think my recent scores was like 32.
Yep.
That's nanograms. I don't know how they say it, but
from 8 to I think it's 28.
Yeah.
From 8 to 28 or 29, something like that. But
mine went back up to like 32 naturally. So in prep, it only went down to 28. Last year it was 29 when I wasn't on any type of prep. So it always juggles between that number. But
last year when I did my cycle once and I got my bloods done and transformed now, Imran called me and he goes, everything's fine, everything's cool.
That's Imran, isn't it?
But your test is a bit high. I says, okay, how much is it? He goes, it's about 80. I was like,
whoa.
Okay. He goes, what are you taking me a test?
That is high. Here I am talking about 32 like it's a mad thing.
But everything else is fine. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
It goes, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, but I felt absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Because I'm 38 now, right? So naturally my test is dropping. So if I was to get onto TRT, I would need to know what my natural
ranges.
Again, 8 to 28, 29. I don't know. That's just the NHS kind of thing. Like a guideline. It could be my natural. If I had got my bloods done when I was 18, 19, 20, my natural is probably 40, 50. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd never know now. So now my test was when I just recently got my bloods done, because I regularly get my bloods done just to keep things checked. Yeah. I think it was about 20, 25, 20, something like that.
A good level,
so
yeah.
It's below, according to the NHS, it's in the middle. But if my natural test was 40, for example, and is 20, it's halfway gone. You know what I mean? I'll never know. So TRT would top that up back to
normal
to 40. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not kind of replacing anything. You're just topping it up.
So when you get that crazy number, like
80,
that's when you like use crazy doses in it, or
well, not even that. It's just because your food's right. You're eating a lot of protein. You're working out. Because you're working out, your test will increase while you're working out, and then you are on a test cycle, and everything kind of adds up. But again, when you don't be stupid with these things, you feel amazing. Otherwise, when you got low test, you feel lethargic, you feel shit, you feel tired. You know,
one thing everyone always says. When your testosterone's right, you feel amazing. Yeah. And I think that's what causes like the addiction, innit? Because why would you want to come off and feel like crap?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's why you look 30 when you're 38.
No, that's one thing I said to you when I saw you in it. Yeah. Because I didn't believe you were 38, man.
And that's what it is, bro. I had a friend of mine, Fadi Hussein, last week, and we were talking about TRT because he does TRT. And he was saying the same thing, you know, why would I want to feel fat, lethargic, tired? You know, he's 38 as well, where I can just top it up a little bit and feel amazing, feel good about myself. You know, I could run around with my kids, I can play, I could do so much. Why would I want to just feel because rubbish, somebody's saying, oh, what are you taking to your T4, bro?
Yeah.
You know, with that mentality, if that person is natural and he feels shit, why do I want to be like him?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You know, you'd rather be happy, full of energy, and somebody you want to be around.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Otherwise, you'll have negative feedbacks, and the way you feel is shit. So I don't want to be like that, man. Just because I want to stay natural, or I'm hitting 40 now and I don't want to get a bit of top up on my test. As a male, you know that we start decreasing after a while, about 30.
I'm on the downslope then.
Yeah, mate, it's looking very dark for you.
I better get it on. But that's one thing. I remember when I was younger, man, I used to be very ignorant towards steroids.
Me, same here. Yeah. I hated the gym before 30. I absolutely hated it.
You just labeled everyone as, oh, you just take steroids, man.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do a lot. You still have to train hard. You still have to eat good.
In fact, you have to do everything harder because
you know you're on cycle.
You know you're taking something you're not supposed to be taking, and to keep sane, you need to be regimented differently.
Exactly.
It's not easy. People think, oh, you just juiced up, bro.
Yeah. People think you can just juice up and sit down and just...
See, that's what causes the complications, because people don't know how to take it.
Yeah.
You know, there's principles of taking stuff, but when people just do it without any guidance, professional guidance, that's when you start getting issues.
Because I've been super duper scared about... I've got a list of stuff that held me back from taking it. The gyno.
Yeah.
The hair loss. Do you know what I mean? The mood swing. I remember when Chris Benoit, the wrestler, murdered his whole family. Do you know what I mean? And they blamed it on steroids. And I was a YG. I was a kid. So in my head, I was like, oh, you see. So it's like, you see, I could never do that because that just made him kill his own kid. But you don't know what's going on in someone's life.
Yeah, exactly. We see with that, if you are a angry person naturally, it'll make you very angry. If you're a mellow person, naturally, it'll make you very mellow.
Yeah.
So it's
like an enhancer.
Yeah, enhance in whatever way you are naturally. So when I did it first time, I was I would kind of get mood swings, like stupid ones, just before my marriage.
Yeah.
Like my wife, man, I used to go on a marriage, just we're not even married yet. But I did tell her, I said, look, this is the situation, just ignore that bit. If that bit comes, just ignore it. And she was cool with it. But yeah, man.
See, you had a very understanding wife. And you got
it's not even that. I said, look, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And she supported you though.
And I just want to try it. I just want to see what it is, how it's like. But yeah, she was happy with the results. And so was I. I was like, oh, great, you know, we can have this understanding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good, man. But I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless they're on your level. Obviously, you wouldn't do anything stupid. Everything has to be calculated.
Yeah.
You're not an amateur now, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're a pro card holder.
Jeez.
Bro, you put the hard work in, man. You know, I always appreciate people, and why not show off? Because you've put that hard work in, which not everyone can do it.
Yeah.
So a bit of self-appreciation. I wouldn't call it show off, but self-appreciation.
I remember when I first got
very important.
And I think I was at a stage where I was like, yo, that last show, I just kind of enjoyed competing. So it wasn't really a thing for me to oh my God, I'm going to go and I'm going to get this pro card. I just liked competing. And I said to one of my mates, yo, she was like, David, you can actually leave here with a pro card today. I was like, oh yeah, shit. I won it. And then it was like,
that's awesome,
everything changed because everyone kind of treated you differently.
Differently.
And I didn't know it was such a big deal to have a pro card. it was everyone else that made me understand that, yo,
T, when
this
he
is
phoned me up, he goes, "Oh, my mate's here. He wants to do the podcast. He's a pro card holder, and he's a natural." I was just like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, man, get him on there." I was like, "All right, cool. But that's when I checked your profile. I was yeah, man, definitely get you on." But we've been trying to get this thing sorted for the past 6-7 weeks.
It's been a while.
Every week, oh, sorry,
shows,
bro, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Oh,
but
man.
okay, now we've covered the your pro side of fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to your coaching now, how's that coming along? Yeah, like, who's your best client? What's the most?
We're gonna start some beef here. We're gonna start some beef.
Sorry, guys, you need to up your game. If you
want
to get mentioned on this show, you need to up your game. But no, well, in terms of, I know for you, every client is different, and every client has achieved something what they wanted to do. So there's in that sense, there's no favorite or the best client. Yeah. But what I mean is,
what type of client?
What type of client, and who's the client? Which client had made the most improvement in their life after meeting you? Because people come from all sorts of backgrounds. Some people have mental health issues, family issues, divorce issues, and they find rehab in fitness. Yeah. And then from mental health, they've come here. Right. So in that sense, that's what I mean.
Well, I've got to touch on one here for you. There's been a few, because obviously a lot of people meet me and they're going through stuff in their own personal life, but you won't mind me talking about this, but
let me stop you there. I had a coach, and he was talking to me about his client, and then we did a podcast with him and that client, and his journey, phenomenal.
See,
honestly,
it's a message. Maybe we can
get
Simon down there.
At the end of the day, it's this show's it's always about real people. Yeah. And real life-changing stories.
See, that would be a good idea.
If your client is interested, man, we can always do another one. Client coach, we'll do another one, bro, because that one's coming up as well. So it's awesome.
I think he'll be interested as well. Yeah, because his journey is quite powerful. Because I was just training my clients. This is time when I was coaching people at West Brom Foundry, and I was just coaching one of my clients, and then this guy walked past, and he was just looking over the doors like, I need a PT. Right. And one of my mates, Pav, he's another coach as well. He was like, David will look after you.
Can't deal with this guy.
It's like, David will look after you. So I was like, how you doing, man? He's like, yeah, I need a PT, man. Blah, blah, blah. He was just kind of like, told me his whole story. He's like, broken up with my missus. Don't really know what to do. Felt a bit lost. So I brought him in straight away. He was it's quite heavy then.
Fat guy.
So yeah. He was on the bigger side.
Well, that's the other guy as well. The guy was about, how much? What did he say? Something ridiculous. The guy showed me his pictures. He was about this massive, wide.
Yeah.
And now he's like that, and it's just amazing.
It's crazy how people can just change with.
Amazing.
Just changing habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started off from changing small little habits. Yeah. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, same thing with Simon. Like, brought him in, taught him all the technique. I'm a person, I like to do my job properly. So whenever I bring a client in, we have to go through something called a biomechanical analysis. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I test mobility, I test imbalances. I have to make sure you're prepared for me to custom make a program that's for you personally. Not just a cookie cutter program where you're just going to get that anyone can do. It has to be for you. So took him through all of that, fixed his nutrition, and he ended up losing 6 stones in under a year. Do you know what I mean? We're not coaching together now. He's on his break. He's achieved what he wanted to. Yeah. But throughout the whole journey, he has a new missus now. Do you know what I mean? He's moved on from that other one. He's seeing his girls again, his kids. because it was just like his whole world got turned upside down.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? But it was such an inspiration for him. I remember talking to him at the end of our journey, and I was like, bro, remember how far you came? And he was like, yeah, man, I was just walking out here like a madhead, screaming for a coach. And to look back at that moment, it was touching, man, because to say, okay, I helped him do that, and now he's moved on with his life, and he's in a better place. Got a big chest, got arms now. Do you know what I mean? Taught him how to embrace the gym, how to form his own training plan. It's a blessing, man. I love changing people's lives like that.
What would you say to somebody who's stuck in that 9 to 5? And there's 90% of people are stuck in that routine, and they have issues at home because of what's the size, or they're just tired or whatever. And the main thing is making that small little change.
Yeah. The best change, like we were speaking about before, get someone who's good at their job to help you.
But why do people have this short term, especially with fitness, of kind of come across a lot of people and say, oh, I've got this happening in a month. I want to lose 10 kilos, for example.
That's something I struggle with all my clients. So I think it's the responsibility of a coach to educate and to really break it down to your client and to be honest with your client. Listen, this is not the right way to go about things. I know you want to...
Listen, fat boy.
Yeah.
Chill out.
I know you want to achieve things. The craziest one I had, this girl was going away in 2 weeks. David, how much weight can I lose in 2 weeks? It was a serious question. You think I'm losing stone? In 2 weeks, I'll be the best man at my job. Everyone will be lining up at the doors if I could take a stone off you in 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I guess you technically can, but you'd be worse off.
You won't end up in a hospital. You won't end up in flipping on a holiday.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You won't end up on holiday. But,
so that's the thing. People have this very unrealistic approach. Why is that?
Yeah. I think it's social media. I know that's very generic to say, but I think it's not being properly educated. I think it's what they see, what people see. And I think it's lies. Social media lies to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
They sell unrealistic results. People, there's this Instagram channel, I think his name's Goo, but he exposes people for messing with their pictures and altering transformations to sell better transformations, to sell like their programs. So if I post up, okay, my client's done this in 6 weeks and she's lost 6 stones, and people actually believe that, and it gets more traction.
It's mad, isn't it, how people even actually believe that?
People will believe that. Do you know what I mean? And if that's gonna then come to an actual trainer, okay, I need to lose 6 stones because Stacey from Geordie Shore did the same. Do you know what I mean? In X amount of time. Unrealistic. So I think that's a big factor in the industry. It's unrealistic goals. But that's your responsibility as a coach to address that with your clients and to educate people that come up with those goals.
Has anyone said, oh, all right, let's leave it?
100%.
Really?
Yeah, I've had people that say, oh, come to me and they want these unrealistic goals, and I'll just break it down to them. Because I'm not really here for your money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know,
I want
every
results.
coach says that, you know.
Yeah, I'm not here for your money.
Not here for money. We're here for results.
Yeah, I want results. The results are going to sell
That's
itself. Do you know what I mean? So let me change your life. If it was a thing where I was rich and I was a millionaire and I could still coach people, I'd do it for free.
Exactly.
Sounds crazy.
But
if you were going to listen to me.
It's the passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the passion. Like, I was talking to somebody over the phone, never met the guy. I was talking to somebody for some funding, investment or whatever. And so I said to him, can you WhatsApp me some information? So he's done it. Now he's looked at my WhatsApp pictures, me sitting here. And he goes, oh, do you do like coaching and stuff? Because I'm on a bit of a plus size side. And I said, oh, you fat? He goes, I've never met this guy. I said, okay, you're fat. He goes, yeah, I'll put a bit of timber on. I was like, okay, cool. I says, yeah, man, no problem. What is it? I said, look, send me some pictures. I need to see what you like, right? You know, because I can't just blindly just give you some kind of nutritional plan.
Advice for you.
Yeah, send me some pictures so I can see. Maybe I can help you, no problem. But I don't do that as a profession. It's not my job. Mm-hmm. And the guy's from Scotland, I think. Yeah. We've become very good friends now. And spoke to him and seen his pictures, and I says, okay, cool. It's not massive. The guy's not huge. He's just like a normal dad. Yeah. You know. And I says, all right, cool. Just send me what do you eat typically, so I know what you eat, right? So he's like, yeah, I've got sweet tooth, X amount of chapati in a day. I said, all right, cool. He says, what can we do then? I says, all right, you know what to do. Just get rid of your sweet tooth, leave everything as it is, and just incorporate half an hour incline walk.
Yeah, say no more.
That's it. Nothing else.
Legit.
Let's just do that for first month or so. He goes, because I need 17th of December, we're going Saudi with my family, and I don't want to be a fat dad. Yeah. I says, look, let's be realistic, right? You ain't losing. You're not gonna become that kind of person. What you want to, what you're thinking that soon. Forget about the dates. Forget everything. Let's make that as a lifestyle change. Mm-hmm. Change it for the right, because you got next year to live. Yeah. You got the year after that to live. Yeah. It's not just up to 17th December. Yeah. So let's just start that.
They always leave it till late as well.
I know. This is why you come to me before.
Come to me before.
6 months at least.
It always pains me, you know. Because sometimes I look someone deep in the eyes. I look some people deep in the eyes. I'm like, you should have came 6 months ago, you know. They don't want to hear that.
That was the thing. And I says, look, let's just get rid of the sweet tooth, right? Keep everything as it is, and watch. When you get into a routine and you feel slightly better yourself, you by yourself will reduce those 3 chapatis into 2. Yeah. That's it. You don't need to make stupid changes in your life, which are not sustainable. Mm-hmm. You can't. Mm-hmm. They're not consistent.
That's good advice. That's like the best advice. That's the exact same advice I would give to someone.
And then that's a realistic. You can do that, right? Yeah. Okay, just eat your sweet tooth once in a week, just to kind of keep the cravings down. But eventually, you will stop that as well.
Yeah, reduction. Yeah, because it's going to be conducive to that success that you want. Yeah. And sometimes
small steps, big results, happy days. You won't be in that situation where, I'm tired, I need food. Yeah, none of that.
And sometimes putting someone on a crash course, but sometimes you can get pressured into these things as well.
But and people want their money in it.
Yeah. I think this is the thing about being an experienced coach, because you kind of know what to say no to. I've been pressured into it before. And
you know what? The guy was so appreciating about it. He goes, you know what? You hit the nail on the head, because that's what I was doing. I was just doing massive changes, and then doing for about a month, and then that's it.
And then,
I go, forget all of that. It's a lifestyle change. This is ongoing. Mm-hmm. Don't change your routine, even on your holiday. Just don't change it. Why you need to change it? You know, just because you're on holiday doesn't mean you can have cake every day. You know, just stick to it. Just stick to your plan, and that's it. You're going to be walking around there anyway. You probably get 30, 40,000 steps a day, because he's going Saudi for a pilgrimage. Whoa. And there you're just walking everywhere you go, and it's 30, 40,000 steps are like an average there.
Really?
When you're doing the pilgrimage, I go, you won't need to do your cardio.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And that's like intense. Daily, bro. People go and do stuff daily everywhere. They're just walking around.
Yeah. That's intense, He's probably come back losing weight.
Yeah. I go, just do that. Forget the gym when you go to your pilgrimage, because you're going to be walking. You'll get your steps in anyway. Just eat sensibly. That's it. Because there's a lot of food out there, you know. Everything's buffet. Everything's inclusive. So you just don't eat too much. You'll be all right. But he appreciated it. And then he's told his mate, who was the financer, right? And he's called me up. He goes, I got your application, but first of all,
company, man.
He goes, I got your application for the investment, But first of all, before we move forward, I need some diet tips. Are you guys having I've never met these guys before.
We need to come up with a little business tree.
I'm telling you. We need to go to these investment bankers and say, listen, guys, you like need to lose some weight.
Put them on their toes, innit?
Lose some pounds. Give those pounds to us. But yeah, man. So that it's just little things. I usually never help someone like that. Why? Not that because I don't know. I'm not a coach. That is the bottom line. This is the first time I've ever helped somebody in that sense.
Yeah.
I usually always refer them to Wahid or somebody, and so look, he's your guy. The person who's got 15 years of experience, he knows what it is. It's a different kind of commitment. I don't know you well enough. You don't know your routine. I might give you
advice which
is going to go against what you want. So it's best to just here's his number, call him, crack on. Mm-hmm. It's the best way, isn't it? I'm not a coach. You talk about cameras and stuff. I can help you. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you which one to get. But other than that, leave, like you said earlier, leave the professionals to do their job.
Exactly.
It is what it is. Like, if somebody comes and they want some help with whatever, I can always give your details and stuff. So roughly how much do you charge in a month, for a month, or what are your packages? How does it work?
The way I break my packages down, we do it per session. So if someone came to me and they're like, okay, David, I want to get fit for X amount of time, then I'll give my honest opinion for that person, and I'll tell them what they need. But it's always about what they can afford. So if they told me they can only afford once a week, then that package, that price starts at £50 a session. Now, that's going to equate to roughly £200 in that whole 4-week period. Now, you're getting a lot more than
£50 a week or
£50 a session.
A session, yeah, okay.
So you're getting a lot more than what you bargained for, because you're getting me for 24 hours. You're not only getting me for that 1 hour in the day. You'll sign up to my online coaching app.
Sounds cheaper than OnlyFans this does.
Sign up to my online coaching app where you get your nutrition and training programs, your weekly check-in. So it's almost like a lifestyle coaching experience in a nutshell, because you're getting the whole package. But when you say £50 to someone a session, it sounds, what?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have a number of people paying that. Do you know what I mean? So people see value in what you offer through what you've done for other people. Because my biggest referral comes from just people talking about me.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
The best
Instagram's
kind of
a big one as
marketing,
well. Yeah. But mostly about people recommending their friends to me and everyone, and proofs in the pudding.
That's it.
But yeah, I was actually going to increase my price.
Well, Fitpod discount.
10%, yeah?
10% discount 10%. For all Fitpod viewers.
Code.
HD Fitpod. And you get 10%. No, I'm only joking, by the way. Everyone's there searching for
I've been waiting to go on it.
But but like I says, earlier, all good things have to come to an end. It's been an absolute pleasure. Your website?
Well, we launched.
It's going to be on the
we'll pop it on there.
Screens and all that anyway. But if you want to tell them your socials where they can get to you and stuff, so
you can find me at David Hammond IFBB Pro on YouTube. My Instagram is hdfitness_DH as well, or you can access my coaching services on Instagram, HD Fitness Coaching.
David, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we'll definitely get your client in.
Yeah, 100. We're gonna do that.
Try and get that sorted for me.
I can get a few of them if you want.
Yeah, well, we're a bit tight with space. Yeah. But you think whoever's
has a good story,
and it can relate to someone.
Yeah.
And that's the most important. The whole idea of this podcast is so somebody, whoever's watching or listening, they can make that positive change, either get in touch with you or anyone, just so that they can make that change.
Yeah.
And that's our job done.
Yeah.
And that was the main reason why I kind of put this together, to help people.
Yeah.
Whoever's listening, watching, it's doable. Nothing is impossible. So if you're stuck in that 9 to 5 kind of thing, you got family,
Yeah,
you
it's
just need
possible. Yeah.
half an hour, make small changes, and you'll have big results over time. But you got to keep them realistic. Not like 2 weeks. I've been doing it for 2 weeks. Nothing's happening.
Yeah,
bro.
nothing's happening.
Yeah,
I
but
get
you've been
it,
eating for the last 35 years.
You see,
Do you know what I mean? So
we are your pros and cons. Yeah.
exactly. But David, thank you very much, bro. It's been an
Thanks for
absolute
having me,
pleasure.
man.
And we'll definitely do another one soon with
Yeah,
you.
we're
and
100%
your
gonna
client.
get that done.
Thank you, bro. God bless.